Hey guys, how you doing? My name's Shady J. You must know me from certain videos, like this one, and this one, maybe even this one. But a lot of you probably know me more popularly from this video. Now, the reason I'm making this video today is because of something that I found online that kind of annoyed me a little bit. And generally, I wouldn't really make a call out video of anything like this. Is something that's happened before. It happens to many other people. But generally speaking, when you something like this happens, you kind of let it go, you move on, and you think it's not a big deal, whatever. This one kind of annoyed me a little bit more, mostly for the reply, which we'll get into in a minute as well. But this is, I just thought I'd make this video as kind of like a PSA. I don't think this is going to get really much. It's going to be much useful for anything or for anyone. This is mostly for me to get off my chest. And the person who I'm going to be talking about today, which you can see here, I have to maybe move my camera a little bit. Oh, never mind. There we go. Let's move myself over here. Is the weasel in question at the moment will be this guy, Chapman Farms. Now, you may be thinking, oh, he's a small YouTuber. Seems a little bit unfair to call one out. He's only got 4.2K, still more than me, if anything, but relatively small. But if we have a look at said YouTuber's main channel, this person has 172,000 subscribers. Now, you think someone with such a following would have some credibility and some morals, but obviously not. I don't think you get really big in the YouTube game, not in all cases, but in some cases, if you do have any of those things. So anyway, the point of this video was a little while ago, you guys probably would have noticed that I made a super smelter, not this one, which also interesting point. I'm gonna try and not dox myself here. So this video here is the one I was talking about that some of you might remember from, it's called the Compact Super Smelter, one of my more popular videos. And it's still only 11k views, not a hugely popular video, but one from a little while ago that I made. It was quite well received by most people. Not an amazing design overall. There was definitely some flaws in it, and more that I noticed now as time has gone on and I've gotten a little bit better at Redstone. But this was a pretty good smelter. It's pretty nice. It's pretty compact. The shape or the layout used is not one that was generally I had seen before used anywhere else. And some of the features which are a little bit more obvious that you kind of get to see when you look at it, they're not things that you generally see used all that often. Anyway, the reason I'm making this video again is because we have a little weasel who's been stealing our designs. Now, this person actually stole my design before, which I didn't really know. This is stolen back in November 2017, November 17, 2020. And if we have a look at when my original video came out, this was not the original video. Hold on, because that says the 30th of November. But the original video that I made came out. Here we go. On the 28th of October. So this person stole the content only a few days later. Now, it may have been an absolute coincidence that this person made the same design that I did, albeit a pretty suckier version of the design that I made, only 15 days afterwards. I mean, it doesn't take that long to steal someone's content, right? So apparently he made a very similar design to it not too long after. As you can tell, I'm going to mute this guy's audio because his voice is really annoying and I'm already annoyed by him as it is. He made this video a little while ago. The design is basically exactly the same. You can see he tries to show that he's kind of developed this thing himself through R&D. I'm sure he did a lot of that in the 15 or 16 days in between that time. Anyway, so he's made this video before. I never really realized it. He got 52,000 views. I don't care. 52,000 views isn't a lot. But this one came into my recommendations because this actually came into my Discord. Someone posted for me to let me know. And again, I don't really care too much about it, but it was kind of annoying. So I kind of messaged him on his YouTube, or I posted on his YouTube. And I was being a little bit salty at the time, but it's okay. I said, "Oh, you little weasel, why are you stealing my designs?" And making it worse, because it kind of is. And I'll run through why in a minute anyway. He's deleted this along with other people's comments on this too. And I thought it was kind of okay. But then he decided that he wanted to leave a message on here. Let's read the note that he's pinned. He goes, hee, this stuff gives me a good chuckle. Couple notes. The old design has an item detection return system, so no items left in the minecart, whatever. I think he's referring to his original one, which again, ironic considering you also stole that one as well. And then he said, the system is simple to understand, blah, blah, blah. He's basically trying to say The kind of one, the thing that really annoyed me was he said the rest is furnished and hoppers running into chests literally used in every furnace array. Yes. Now, besides the fact that the layout is obviously distinct to the furnace array that I've made before, it's obvious that you've stolen design because most of the other features are ones that you don't really see that often. If you've seen it in many other places, then let me know. I implore you to show me properly. I'll delete this episode or this video altogether if that's the case. But this isn't something that you generally see used anywhere. And was one of the reasons why I published a video on it in the first place, because I thought it was a cool compact design. Whatever. So you are now making a point here where you say literally every furnace array uses hoppers into chests. The LMAO is the part that really fucked me off, if I'm honest with you. And we already know that you're kind of a little thief because you've been called out for stealing other people's designs before. Mumbos or Mangoes, I'm sure the list doesn't fall short of people's content that you like to steal, mostly because you're probably quite unoriginal. I mean, if we look at your main channel here, yes, you do have 172,000 subscribers, but let's see some of your topics of your videos. I survived 1,800 days in Minecraft, breaking Minecraft. I survived 1,700 days. I see you jump on the hardcore Minecraft trend, which honestly isn't an original idea in the first place. It seems to have worked out for you having 172,000 subscribers. That doesn't make you any less of a weasel. Anyway, the point of this video was just to prove a point. You kept deleting my comments. I wanted people to know that I had already called you a weasel for this before, and I also said, I know you're going to delete this, but just so you know, I know you're a rat. Anyway, sorry to be negative in this video, but at the end of the day, it's kind of unfair when people steal things. A little credit to note at some point in the video to say, hey, I saw this design by Shady J, and I'm just kind of working off of it and building off of it and maybe optimizing it in some way, which you're not, by the way. And I landed just on the right part. Number one is that you're feeding hoppers into a hopper minecart, genius. If you knew anything about how Redstone worked, you would know if you just lowered the chest one lower, you wouldn't need to feed it into there anyway. It doesn't make any sense. So anyway, using hopper minecarts to pick up from hoppers doesn't really make any sense in the long term, in any way, shape or form. So I know your capabilities of doing Redstone aren't exactly that great. So at the end of the day, you can sit here and act like you didn't steal a design or a layout. Hey, you know who has stolen my design before? But guess what? They asked permission for it. Shulkercraft. Shulkercraft also stole my design. And to be honest with you, at least they gave me credit for it. And to be honest with you, at least it was good because they copied the actual design. They gave me credit for it. And in addition to all of that, they actually made a nice video about it too. And they got 500,000 views. Your video is going to suck anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's not like it does anything for me or for you. I don't know who that was even for. Anyway, sorry, it's gotten a bit darker since I started recording this video, so the lights kind of faded a little bit, and I don't really have a good setup for camera, so it looks a bit shitty. But anyway, the point is with all that aside, in many cases, if you ever take someone's design or copy something slightly from it, just make sure you credit them. You know, it's not really that hard to give people credit considering they're the ones who generally come up with these designs or any of the mechanics of them. If you look through any of my videos, in any case, even in ones that I may have taken some designs from, a good example is the Wither Killer that I designed, which I didn't really design. It was basically a modification of Fallen Breath's Wither Killer. And do you know what I said? And keep in mind, this is a long time ago before Fallen Breath wasn't even that big, and I wasn't even as big either. I was considerably smaller than Fallen Breath at the time. Here's how I started off the video when I first made that. By the way, that has 6,000 views at the moment. Was made in 13th of March 2021 when I probably had like 200 subscribers. Right? Here's how I started off the video. We'll go through the build itself. Start that again. Welcome back to another Redstone video. Today I am bringing you a modified version of Fallen Breath's Wither Killer. The first few sentences out of my mouth was letting you know that this isn't an original design and in fact is a modification of someone else's design. Generally what I like to do in any of my videos, even if it's only got a slight hint of someone's use in there, is I like to credit them as much as possible, because just because you lie and act like you might know something or may have made something doesn't mean it to be true. And at the end of the day, there may be a small amount of people who don't look into it and don't care about who you're crediting, but if you can sleep at night knowing that you're a little fucking weasel, then that's good for you. Anyway, I don't want to be negative anymore, and I'm done being angry, so sorry for everybody who's usually into watching me, make nice, positive things, but in this occasion, I just wasn't feeling that way. Thanks anyway, see you in the next one, and don't forget, weasels do exist.